Hello everyone. This is a different kind of video. It's one I feel I want to make since by the time you're seeing this, it's been a week since the passing of my beloved rabbit Candy. She was about 6 years old and had been with me most of those 6 years. She passed peacefully with me holding her, but as a pet owner, as the fact that she was my first rabbit. It's been hard, as it's sad when we lose our pets. And with Easter coming up, I felt that it was important to tell our little story of how I got her in the first place and how things went through the years. As when I first got her, well, before I got her, it was just a day or two before. I was with my sibling and we were looking at some stuff as they had got needed to get something for their dog, and I was just with them, and I looked at the rabbits and thought, they're really cute. I didn't think about getting one or anything, I just thought that they were really cute. I had been in a very bad place emotionally at the time. My anxiety was beyond bad, and my depression was horrible. It was a dark time for me. And it was just the next day or so that my sibling was out on a walk and they saw some kids holding a rabbit, saying that they couldn't take her with them as they adopted the rabbit, but because of circumstances, they couldn't take the rabbit with them. So they got me. We went over and I petted the rabbit, and the moment I held Candy, I loved her. And seeing how much I enjoyed holding the rabbit, my sibling was like, you know what? We're keeping the rabbit. Yeah, we'll take care of the rabbit. And so, even though I was like, I don't. I don't need a pet. I don't need to. They're like, yeah, you're keeping the rabbit. Yes, yes, you are. I'm like, okay. And that was the first night with her. I had we had to put her in a temporary like cage and habitat because it's not like I had anything I could do. It was what we had, and as they didn't have anything but like a little bit of pellets to give with her. So that night, sitting next to Candy, as she was on the floor in this little makeshift environment, I looked up how to take care of a rabbit. It was, I think, just the end of July in 2019, and I gave myself a crash course in how to take care of a rabbit. And from there, I went through the next day, we went and got everything we needed, as much as we could, to take care of her. And the first day, the first night, she was friendly, but that's after it sunk in that she went from one owner to another at 3 months old. She got sassy and she wasn't happy. And being, she got very nippy. She would nip me. She would not jump away from me. She would not want to be touched. And I had read the reason for that is it takes rabbits up to a month to bond with anyone. And that is something that people don't understand. And that's one of the things that it's assumed about them. How after spending time with Candy and raising her, rabbits to me are like if you mixed a dog and a cat together. And you might be wondering, what? You got the love and affection, the need for affection, like a dog. But you need litter, you need different foods and stuff, like a cat. They also have nails like a cat. That hurt. And will bite like a dog. And will, like, tear stuff up like a dog if you're not careful. But they also can get lonely like a dog. And that's the thing. You have to be understanding that regardless of how much attitude they give you, you have to give them attention. It's not a pet you can get not thinking about it because it's not one that you can handle like that. Okay, where was I? And when it comes to rabbits, the time of year that people get rabbits the most, not thinking about it, is around this time of year, Easter. Rabbits, the actual pet, are not a stuffed animal. They're not just some cute thing. They are a creature that needs taken care of. You can't just get them thinking they're cute. That's not going to be good for them and you. And for all that is good in the world, never put a rabbit that is domesticated outside and abandon them thinking they will be okay. They're not going to be. Not only do they have no perception of dangers or anything, but they're too friendly and thus will go up to humans. And even worse is that with no perception of dangers, they will easily get hurt and pass away. They don't survive well on their own, especially since, from what I had read, wild rabbits can smell the difference on a domesticated rabbit, and they're not likely to be accepted. So there is no, I'm helping the rabbit by letting them loose. That is giving them a death sentence. So if you're gonna get a rabbit around Easter, really think it through. Think it through. And if you really want to get one, take care of it. Know that it can take up to a month to bond with you. And understand, it takes a lot of care. I mean, you have to have some kind of toy for them to chew on constantly because their teeth grow constantly. That is one thing that I am used to the media culture telling me is rabbits' teeth always growing. Yeah, they are, and they hurt. They hurt the rabbit, and they will hurt you more if they're overgrown. So they need to have something to chew on. For me, I had a big old dog that was made by rabbit companies and that she would always have to chew on, which would last about a month. She would chew it to heck, and I would just hear chewing in the middle of the night and stuff. Middle of the day, I'm just doing something, and all I'm hearing is her chewing. It was adorable. And now that Candy's gone, I'm going to have to deal with that silence. I've been going through the process of grieving as, yeah, I posted in my community tab that she was gone. But even though I've done that and I've posted on a few other places that um she's gone, it's hard. It's never easy to lose a pet. And I'm just glad that I'm in a place emotionally and mentally that I can handle this without falling apart completely because that was where she found. When I got her, that's where I was. I was in such a dark place. And she helped me through it. In fact, she became sensitive to my emotional state. If I got too stressed out or too depressed or whatever, if she's was in her cage and not able to help, she would grab onto one of the bars and shake it. She was like, nah, nah, you're gonna come here and you're gonna give me attention. And she would keep doing it until I got up from wherever I was and came over and I petted her. And that helped. Just feeling her soft fur as I petted her helped. And she realized that, so she used it. She knew she could calm me, and so, without ever being trained at all, that became something for her. If I trained her to do anything, I would say I trained her to enjoy being held because I used to hold her a lot. I would pick her up and just hold her right up here, as you've seen on the videos that I've recorded and streams before her passing. I think I only got to stream once before she passed away, where she could show up. But in those videos and things, that's where she was most comfortable, is right here. And I learned that there's a little sound that they can make that's equivalent to purring, but you may not understand it if you don't do the research into what's going on. And it's just a little way of how they move their teeth around. It's a little sound that you won't hear unless your ear is close to it. She made that sound a lot, and she also gave me little licks because licking is their kissing just like a dog. So that's them showing affection. The thing that Candy loved the most when it came to how I petted her is head pets. She adored having her head pet. In fact, when I would reach over, sometimes she'd put her head down and get closer, like, pet my head, mommy. And so I would. And she enjoyed our time together as I did. I'm glad that I had one more birthday with her this past February, where she could hop around and spend the day with me as I spent it. with family. It was a good day, and I feel like candy just ran out of time and got old. I just didn't realize it because I wanted to be positive. I wanted to hope that she'd stay forever, as any pet parent does. You want to be like, my baby's gonna live forever. And then the day comes and you just, it's heartbreaking. She had gotten unwell as I had gotten some bad hay that was contaminated with chemicals. I didn't realize because I didn't sniff it or anything, but it felt a little off. And that's when she started showing signs of getting sick. And with that, our AC also broke and has still been broken. So it's the worry, is she overheating? Is it because of this, because of that? And I just unable to get her to the vet because we didn't have the means, the funds, the know-how, because sadly rabbits are seen as exotic pets and that there's very few vets for them. So I just took care of her the best I could, hoping that she'd get better because I thought she was just sick. But she then passed. But at least she spent some time with me that day before she passed, and I was there with her because I know had she passed without me, it would have been a lot harder to accept, a lot harder to handle. So, this Easter, if you want something cute, get a rabbit plushie, not an actual rabbit. If you want to get an actual rabbit, do the research first. Know that they take a lot of care and love, like any animal does. And if you see a rabbit that's been abandoned, that's like you don't even may not even realize they were abandoned, but if they're super friendly and hopping over to you, maybe they're wet because they don't realize they need to get out of the rain. Take them to a shelter, please. As too many get abandoned and it's so bad. It's so sad. I'm just glad that I was able to get candy. As luck had it, I feel like she'd want me to get another rabbit. I feel she knows that I tried my best and that once I've gone through this process of letting her go, that it'd be time to bring in a new rabbit. How I'll get them, who knows? With my channel only being so small, I know this video may not reach that many, but maybe when I actually get a new rabbit, I'll make a little update video to introduce you, but I'm gonna have to wait until I have bonded with the rabbit since I know I shouldn't be picking them up too much when they're getting used to me. But I'm going to insert a little video of me and Candy at the end of this little thing, as I'm gonna miss her. And it's sad that just when I was starting to show her to you guys more, she had to pass. For the rest of the month, I'll just be editing videos that I have recorded already and putting them up, as I'm in no state to record more than this little thing. So I'll see you guys when I can. Until next time, this has been Siren Melodic, and I am signing off.